Hey guys, welcome in. Welcome in. How are you doing? Happy Sunday to everybody. Glad you could join us. What a great weekend we had here. Hope you did the same. Looks like we got Gambling Mitzi, Lisa, Tracy in Arizona. How are you ladies doing? How are you doing on this fun Sunday evening? Welcome in, Bradley Jones. Thank you for joining us. We are going to get started with our show tonight. We're super excited. Scott Nightingale, crop duster in the house, ready to end the weekend. I am not ready to end the weekend. I wish it could last a little bit longer. You know, the saying, it's never long enough, right? It just Sunday comes and then you got to go back to work for most of us anyway. That's how it turns out to be. But we are glad you are here tonight. I hope you got to catch us this Thursday and Friday. We went live from Choctaw Casino, which, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I love going to Choctaw. I love the fact that they are film friendly. We can just do what we want. We were able to film and walk around, unlike WinStar, where even though you have permission, sometimes they don't let you do it. But it was great. I mean, we even at one point had a security guard come up and talk to us about the YouTube channel, what we were doing. And I just love that. I love the fact that we can just film there and have no issues at all. Welcome in, Deanna. And we looks like we also have little Dutchie in the house. Appreciate guys. BD Slots is here. Thank you. Thank you. Hope you're having a great weekend. Getting ready to roll into the work week. It should be fun. Hopefully everybody survives Cinco de Mayo. I was able to get myself a margarita before we left Choctaw on Friday. It was rather delicious. I truly enjoyed it. It was yummy, yummy, yummy. But yeah, we got to go live for you guys Thursday night. You guys were troopers. Y'all hung in there. And then we went live again on Friday. That was a lot of fun. We'll kind of give you a recap of our Choctaw visit and everything like that later on in the show. We'll bring Mike in and we'll have him come and join me and we'll kind of discuss all of those fun things that we did because it really was a great time. We just really wanted to get away, have a nice weekend. We took Friday off when we drove up there Thursday. Traffic was horrendous. I'm not going to lie. Normally it takes us about an hour and 45 minutes to get there. And it took us a little over 2 hours, I think, to get there and almost 2.5 to get home. There was just so much construction going on, which just seems to be the case, right? Whether you're here or in Vegas, they still have all that construction going on the strip. Lots of complaints in that whole Formula One repaving of all the streets and the construction getting to and from the airport. And you guys, the airport is also under construction, right? So they're doing some terminal construction there. So be prepared. Go to the airport early when you are leaving so that you have yourself plenty of time to get to and from. Check your flight statuses, right? Because they are canceling flights or at least delaying flights left and right with all the construction. So make sure you are ready to go. You give yourself plenty of time to get to the airport and then be prepared once you get to the airport to have some delays. I have seen so many people complaining on Facebook this week alone just about their flights being delayed, their flights being canceled. But you got to remember, we are also in that wonderful spring, summertime, stormy weather, which, you know, we had a major storm roll through here last night. We've got another one coming tonight. That's just nature, right? That's how it works. So just, be prepared, check those flight statuses, and also, know your way around on the strip because there is so much construction going on and people are being routed different ways as far as the taxis, Ubers, and Lyfts. Just check those prices, guys, because I think it might be a little bit more expensive than you are used to for sure. But I am glad you guys could all join us tonight. We have a show lined up for you. We are going to talk about what's kind of going on the strip. We're going to talk about a big movement going right now in Vegas itself. And for me, this kind of why we had the poll out there. We talked about it, I think it was Thursday night a little bit on our live, but we wanted to kind of know when you're going on vacation, how often do you request housekeeping? Do they come into your room every day? Are you requesting it every other day? And there's a reason behind that, right? There's a reason why we put that out and had the poll. Welcome in, James. Thank you for joining us. Sean is in the house. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. You're right. There are more thunderstorms headed our way. It's just, it's that nature, right? That's what happens this time of year. We got to be ready for all of those storms. But it really, I'm going to be honest with you, here in Texas, we went from being cold to hot. We really did not have a springtime here. We had 95 degrees yesterday. It was super hot. And I think it's going to be in the low 90s all week long here, which is great because we got pool season, which we'll talk about there in Vegas as well. So I like it. This is my I wouldn't say it's my favorite time of the year. The fall is my favorite time of the year, but no spring here generally means we're going to have a really long summer, and that is not conducive here in Texas because you've got humidity and then you've got hot temperatures. It is unbearable sometimes. It's absolutely insane, but we'll see how it goes. We're, like I said, we are just kind of getting into the midst of it. We're in the first week of May and we're already in the 95s. Vegas, holy moly, they had a hot week as well. Welcome in, Slotty Math Teacher. Thank you for joining us. You guys are just troopers. You guys were with us Thursday. You guys were with us on Friday. And here you are again. The support is just tremendous and I appreciate it greatly. But let's get back to the housekeeping and specifically why we were asking you guys about this. So prior to, or not prior to, but during the pandemic, right, we had this whole issue where they were wanting to mandate and have housekeeping come in, keep things clean, keep COVID from spreading, and they were doing all of these different types of things, trying to kind of test out what was the best for safety and overall for all the guests. Well, now that the World Health Organization has declared that the COVID global health emergency is over, right? It is gone. A lot of the hotels are wanting to go back into the opting in for housekeeping. So what this means is daily services is no longer going to be offered to come in and actually clean your room, right? You actually have to request it, and they are out, going out onto their websites. And if you're booking on their website, it is something that you have to click and state that whether or not you want daily housekeeping for your room if you're going to be there for more than 2 nights. And this is just really interesting to me because during COVID, right, we were in Vegas and it was not an option. Like they would come into our room every day. And the only way they wouldn't come in is if you put the do not disturb placard hanging out on the outside of your door. So what they were doing is, wanting to come in, clean up the common surfaces, change the linens, those types of things, and kind of help lower the spread of COVID. Well, with all of that being past us now, according to the World Health Organization, they don't think that they should now still be required to come in and clean the rooms daily. What they want to do is opt in for that service. Now they're immediately right now they're stating on their website they're not going to charge a fee to have people come in and when you request housekeeping, they're not going to make that a charge for you. And actually what they're thinking about doing is making it an incentive. So if you don't request housekeeping to come in, that maybe you'll get a certain amount of points towards that tier program or that property that you are at, because this is not considered part of your resort fees. So housekeeping is not part of the resort fees, right? Because we all know that's for the amenities, the Wi-Fi, those types of things. So in order for them to kind of make it an incentive to not have housekeeping every day, they're trying to come up with different ways. And we'll see this as it develops over the next couple of weeks, because on Friday they actually went in and tried to pass the bill. And I believe it's going to pass this week where that is just not going to be the standard anymore of having it. And the reason behind this, guys, is kind of interesting and it makes sense, right? So the hotels themselves are going to be able to save $100,000 a year by not providing. Oh, look at that. Sean S., thank you so much for the super chat. My favorite Sunday podcast. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. So they think that they're going to be able to save hundreds of thousands of dollars a year by not having, us getting fresh linens every day. So they're going to save on water. They're going to save on electricity. They're going to save for housekeeping. And I get all of that. And I understand that because I don't specifically enjoy housekeeping coming in. And I just I've had bad experiences, right? I've had my diamond earrings have come up missing. Shame on me for not putting them in the safe. But I've had, personal belongings do come up missing sometimes. And so most people, right, for us, like we just don't request housekeeping. It's just not something that we like to do. But if you think about it, when we are traveling, we generally only stay at that specific hotel for one night, right? Especially if we're doing room reviews and we're in Vegas. We may be there for 6 nights and we are changing hotels every single night. So we don't need housekeeping. But if, when we're on our honeymoon, and we were there, I think we were there for 5 or 6 nights, and we stayed at the same hotel the entire time. We actually, I think it was the third or fourth night, we had gone out, we came back in, spent the day out on the strip, came back, and there was a red card hanging on our door, and it said contact hotel services. So of course I pick up the phone. I'm thinking, what did we do wrong? We're in trouble now. But actually what it was is they were checking on our well-being and our safety. Since they hadn't been in the room for such an amount of time, they were making sure that everything was okay and that we were safe. Welcome in, Barbara Playing Slots. Thank you so much. You are not late. We are just getting started. So I appreciate you joining us. So they have protocols, right? So it is also a safety concern by them not having daily housekeeping services. That they are, the flip side to that is, what are people doing in these hotel rooms, right? Is there safety concerns if people aren't going in there? Because I know if I had requested housekeeping, I'm going to tidy up a bit. I now know I need to lock my valuables away, which includes my toothbrushes, right? These personal items, things you put in your safe before you leave. And so they are worried. Some people are worried now that since housekeeping's not going to be coming in on a daily basis, there's a bit of a safety concern of what's truly going on behind those doors for such a long amount of time, or if people aren't coming and going out of that hotel room too, right? Because we do know people get sick. Maybe people pass away when they're in Vegas, and it's an overnight thing. And you might not find them for a couple of days if housekeeping isn't going in on a daily basis. So it's just a whole interesting topic. Curious to see if you guys request housekeeping when you are in traveling. If you're on a cruise, do you request housekeeping? Are you like us, where we don't really want anybody in our room? We're coming back in. We catch the maids, the housekeeping, and we'll exchange our towels, directly with them and not have them come into our room, so to speak. That's just kind of how we feel about it. I get their safety concerns, and I get that, coming into the room on a daily basis. But with the COVID and now officially being not considered a state of emergency, then now they don't need to come in. They don't need to wipe down the common surfaces, and they don't need to worry about these types of things. So it's just an interesting take. It was actually a very hot topic for them, passing a bill this past week in Vegas. So we'll find out this coming up week what they decide to do with that in itself. I can see both sides of why it is important for them to come in on a daily basis. I can also see them saving money, but I will tell you this: I will be very upset if they include this as part of an upcharge, right? We already see this right now where we are traveling and there's all these surcharges, there's these taxes, there's these new fees that they're adding on. And I really hope the resorts and hotels don't start trying to charge you for housekeeping. That's just, part of traveling and the upkeep. But I will think about this now that I'm sitting here and it's crossing my mind. The turnover there, right? So you're leaving I've been hit by bed bugs twice in my career. So another point of they really need to possibly come in and do cleaning. I've been so fortunate we've never had that, but we do check. Like I do an inspection when we go into our hotel room. I am checking the toilet to make sure that it is clean. I check both the showers. everywhere. I check. I like to check behind the like the dressers, any of the kind of common areas that you can see, like right behind the couches. If we're staying somewhere that has a couch, I like to check those things. I like to make sure they're clean. Checking the bed as well, making sure that there are no bed bugs, that they're I've got fresh linens and whatnot, because what I was just about to say is the turnover in Vegas, right? You check out and within 4 to 5 hours, someone else is in that room. So the theory behind them not coming in every day, that allows housekeeping to worry and focus and make the priority of people who are checking out of the hotel, which for us travelers that are arriving, this is great news, right? So we can get there and we will not be waiting until after 4 o'clock to get into our hotels. Now we know they do charge us an early check-in fee, but it is very interesting to know that I think the turnover time and getting into your room, because there are many times you can't even get it to a room by 4 o'clock, right? That would be this would be an advantage. Let's see. Deanna Sanchez says, we like every other day for housekeeping when we stay 5 or more days. And I think, I want to say on our honeymoon, by the fourth day, we let them come in. I can't remember. But I think we did, because I kind of felt guilty after they placed that red placard on the door telling us to call downstairs. And basically, they just wanted to make sure that we were okay. And in my mind, I'm thinking, they know when we're coming and going, because if I leave the room, to get back in the room, I have to use my key. So if you've seen me swiping that key and the door is being open, and you can see the timestamps of when we actually scan that key, right? I would think that would be good enough for them to know that everything is okay. Gina Lamana, I never request housekeeping. If I need anything, I catch them in the hallway and ask for supplies. But honestly, I bring my own towels, paper products, blanket, and pillowcases. That's just me. Now, we bring our own paper products. I do have one pillow that I like to travel with as well. But I've never really thought about bringing, my own linens. But wow, that's really awesome. Especially, I guess, if you have the room to travel on a road trip. So when we do our road trip to Vegas, I overpack. I bring way more stuff than I need to. And I did bring my blankets. Now that I remember this, I did bring my OU blanket and our own pillows. Because as you have seen in many of our room reviews, right, you get these really big pillows or you get the super small ones, and they're just very uncomfortable. And actually, when we were at Choctaw this Thursday night, the pillows were huge. They were massive, but they were so fluffy and thick. It was hurting my neck when I was laying down. They were so uncomfortable. And I was thinking to myself, I should have brought my own pillow. So, yeah, I guess if you're not flying by airplane and you can afford to pack those things, then it is a good thing. Scott McKay, everyday house cleaning is a must. Those bed sheets need changing. I guess for some people, yeah, that's true, right? You want to get those changed in Vegas, because we all go to Vegas and we all have a little fun. And I hear you, right? Get those linens changed every day. I get it. I get it. So let's see, guys. Anybody else come in that I have missed? I'm just checking here to make sure. I don't see anybody else that we missed. But so I was just curious to see, because this has been such a hot topic. I didn't know that it would make such a big difference in having the everyday house cleaning versus just making it optional. The other point to them is, we are everywhere right now. There's just a short in staff. I mean, there's just a shortage everywhere you go. And this is another thing that hotels are saying is, by not having everyday cleaning, they can focus on the rooms and when people are checking out. And, their staff won't be overworked. They won't be stressed out and overwhelmed with the amount of rooms that have to be cleaned each day. So I see that and I get it. I just thought it was an interesting topic to read about all week long. Curious to see what happens next week, what decision they make. But I wanted to know if that affected you. Did you guys know this was going on? And for housekeeping, some people, right, you go on vacation and that's a luxury item, right? To come in every day to fresh linens, turn down service at some of the higher tier hotels. People coming in and they're doing the turn down service. A lot of people like that, right? And that's one of the benefits of being on vacation. So I can kind of see both sides of this. I will keep you updated. I will continue to watch this week and kind of see how it unveils. But I will tell you now, we need a protest. I'm kidding. I would never ask anybody to protest. But if they start charging us for housekeeping to have people come in and clean up our room and give us fresh linens and towels and those types of things and changing the beds, um, I will be very upset because right now paying resort fees on top of everything, we know it's just not something that we should now have to pay for, right? I'm going on vacation. I'm expecting my hotel. If I want that service, it's part of what I'm already paying for when I book my hotels. Part of the nightly fee. We'll call it the nightly fee. So interesting to see. We'll check it out and follow up and see what they pass. And I can both certainly see both sides of it. So we can just kind of hang back and see what happens, and we'll go. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, in Vegas, except herpes. That's come back with you. You're right, Scott. It can come back with you. I always think that's a funny saying that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, because that's not the case, right? We know that. And just like the bed bugs, right? I've never encountered that, but have you guys had that? I know, Scott, you said you have twice, but not necessarily in Vegas, but just staying in different hotels. Scott McKay, that is going to BYOSAT. Bring your own sheets and towels. There you go. I guess. I mean, that's maybe that's what we're getting down to, right? If we're going to start traveling, like I do bring my own paper products when we travel. That's how I am. I also bring my own shampoo and conditioner. I cannot stand, and ladies, I know you're going to be with me on this. I cannot stand the built-in shower pumps that they have, like at the Flamingo, right? Where anybody can, even though they have keys on them and people aren't supposed to get access to them, they have that shampoo and conditioner in the containers and it's shareable. Everybody has used, and they just fill it up when it runs out. That is a big, whoops, sorry about that. That is a big drawback for me. I do not like that. If I'm going to come in there, I want the individual bottles of shampoo and the conditioner, because I don't know and I can't trust that the person that was in that hotel before me didn't put bleach or something like that in this product. I know they say they have it under lock and key, but I just don't believe it. Gina, me too, April. I need my own personal supplies to be comfortable. That's how I am. Sometimes I will use their hair dryer, but I find it doesn't do the trick for me. It takes way too long. Little Dutchie, when I was 17 or 18 years old, I was a maid at a hotel. That's why I leave a tip for the maid when I check out. I always tip. I always tip too, right? Even though when we were at Choctaw, they never came into my room, I still tipped them. And that's because they had to come in and clean up after me when we checked out. So we tip every time we go. I always bring my own toiletries. That's me too, right? So if most of us are doing this, maybe that they should take those items away. Even as a guy, I always take my own toiletries, and I think that's the case, right? Because that's the way Mike is, right? He wants to bring the stuff, and I am not going to be using this community shampoo, conditioner, the body soap that they have at the Flamingo and all these, and they're starting to do this in Walt Disney. All the Disney resorts are going to this. It drives me nuts. It just drives me nuts. Me too, little Dutchie. We leave tips and sometimes presents for the staff. Yep. Guys, tipping is important, right? You'll get what you put out there. It's all part of the whole karma thing. I always tip everywhere we go. Anytime we're dealing with anybody that's in the service industry, you need to tip, right? They are working hard for you. That is their, and you are on vacation. You have saved up money. You are spending money, and so you should always budget for tipping your cab drivers, your servers, the people that check you in, at the hotel registration desk. If you get somebody that will check you in and not all this kiosk mess, which is just crazily insane for Caesar's properties. Um, the bellhop, everybody. If I stop and ask for help or directions or whatever, I'm going to give them money. When I go to the cash cage and I'm going out and I go into the cashier and I'm cashing in my chips or my tickets, because we know they don't give us change anymore, I tip them too. Like, I will give them money for cashing my tickets and giving me money. It's the right thing to do. There is a reason why they are in the service industry while they are at these hotel and resorts. And that is because they love their job and they want to make you happy. They want to service you. Therefore, we should be tipping them. So I agree with you 100%. I think tipping is an absolute must for me. And I get very angry when I see people being rude and they don't leave tips. And for us, like if we sit down at a casino and we start playing and we're at a machine, I will give our server, if we're drinking alcohol, if we're not drinking alcohol and we're drinking Coke and waters, I will give her a $20 bill. And then by the fourth drink, I give her another $20 bill. I don't even care if it's bottled water that she's bringing us. She is there. She is working her butt off. She's having to deal with people that are unruly, people that are rude. So I'm not about to ruin her day or add to that madness. So I'm just giving her a $20 tip. And then about every fourth round, I will give her another $20 tip. That's just how we are, right? So anyways, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent about the whole tipping thing, but I agree with you. And I think with housekeeping, same thing. We will leave money, even if they don't come in and service us daily. If we're just checking out the very next day, they're still coming in. They're still cleaning up after us. They're still doing a big high turnover. They're doing a deep clean, hopefully. Therefore, I'm going to leave them money. Same. Always tip. Plus, it's great karma. That's it. And I am a big fan of the karma. You know that if you watch our all of our lives. What you put out is what you get back. Big fan of the karma. I believe in it so much. So didn't mean to go on that rant, but that is where we were. And I just tipping is a must. Housekeeping, interesting to see what they end up doing this week, if it passes or not, and going back into the optional and not mandated guest services, hotel housekeeping services. All right. So let's also talk about the Fontaine Blue, guys. If you are wanting to move to Vegas, if you are looking for a job, they actually posted out this past week job postings, and they are hiring at the Fontaine Blue. Yes, Tracy, Arizona. I love the chocolate martinis. He has done. I'm going to just pause for a moment and brag on Mike. He has figured out the exact replica of the Hershey's bar at New York, their chocolate martini. It is so good. I love it. And he's done a great job. And I appreciate you, babe, because they taste on point. Yep. So we got the chocolate martini, and it's the Hershey bar, somewhat of the Hershey bar replica recipe. Good job, babe. We appreciate it. And it is now my drink of choice. All right. So the Fontaine Blue, let's go back to this. So they just posted last week job openings. So this means we are that much closer to this opening up. They plan to open up in December. So this is good. I personally don't think they're going to make it by December, but I could be wrong. And I just find it odd, honestly, that you're going to open something up in December, which is after the Formula One. So I figure if you can't get it open by Formula One, why would you rush to do it by December? But, we'll see. But they are now getting ready to open this up, and they have posted out jobs. So this is pretty much a done deal. We've seen it come and go with decades of construction in that area, the north end of the strip. So this is exciting news. Welcome in, slot lizards. I am here. Everyone can relax now. Yes. Thank you for joining us, Jay. We appreciate it. We were all worried about you, wondering where you were. But yeah, so if you're looking for a job and you want to move to Vegas, just go on their website. They are actually have posted out all the jobs that are available. They're planning on opening up in December. And if you guys don't know, this is the 67 foot, it's going to be 67 stories high. It's going to be a lot of conventions, right? Because it is on the north end of the strip. It's by the MSG Sphere. So what they're planning on doing is having a lot of indoor and outdoor convention type meeting rooms, ballrooms, things to that nature. It's kind of cool. They're also going to have a 300, or not 300, but over almost 3,600 hotel rooms available. It's going to have pretty decent pools. I was kind of taking a glance at the renderings of it just before the show. So it looks nice, right? We always love new hotel properties in Vegas. I think this is going to be great. I mean, look at that pool. It's beautiful, right? It looks like it's fairly decent size. Now, whether or not it's separated from adults versus children, I haven't really seen anything to that posting, because I'm a big fan of having a separate pool for families versus adults. But they will have a little over 3,600 hotel rooms to offer. They're going to have a casino floor as well. So this is great news to see them actually posting out that they are hiring and they posted out these jobs. That makes me feel good that they're finally getting closer and this is a done deal. And, we've seen this many, many times in Vegas where they start projects, they halt the projects, they start the project again, it sells to another company, these types of things. So I think Fontaine Blue is truly going to happen. Now, whether it happens, their projected date, which is December of 2023, is yet to be seen. But this is exciting news. I like it. I think it's going to be great to have something new on the north end of the strip. I'm a big advocate for getting the north end of the strip up to speed as far as when we talk about central and the south end of the strip. It's going to take a lot. I know that. I know that the north end of the strip, we know it's not considered safe. It's people call it the sketchy part. We know the different areas there is just sketchy. I mean, there's no other way to put that. So having something come up on the north end of the strip is great. I'm excited to see this. I'm excited to see it opening. Think about Resorts World. I mean, they really went all out, right? They really took a big risk by getting up and opening up Resorts World at the north end of the strip. So now that the Fontaine Blue is going to be opening soon, let us market you. Welcome in. So it's the Fontaine Blue. It's on the north end of the strip. The Circus is getting a renovation done. And, they've been painting the tents and everybody's doing all kinds of things to get prepared for Formula One, or at least that's what people are saying it's for. It makes good business sense. These things make sense. I cannot wait. I would say probably within the next 5 to 10 years, I'm hoping to see that the north end of the strip gets as much traffic and that we see new resorts coming in and we're able to build up that end of the strip. You guys know me. I'm a big advocate for this. I'm also a big advocate for Circus to get renovation. So just doing the outside of it right now, great, appreciate it. But it's time for a little renovation on the inside. It's time for Flamingo to get new restaurants in Flamingo. I love the Flamingo. I love the nostalgia about it. I love that it still has that old Vegas vibe. But if I'm being honest, I would like to see a little bit more within the property. It could use a little upkeep, little tender love and care. We could use some new restaurants in the Flamingo. So I like it. I can't wait for it to open up. We will definitely be staying there. I think one of our trips here this year, we're going to actually focus on the north end of the strip. I'd like to stay at the Sahara. I'd like to do the Westgate Motel there. Maybe the Strat. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, Circus room review by April coming soon. I would do that. I would give y'all the review of the Circus, but I don't think we can talk Mike into it. That is like when we started this channel, that was one of the things he said, I do not want to stay at Circus and the Excalibur, but I think I've talked him into Excalibur. We will see. So look for some North Strip hotel casino reviews coming soon. And maybe we'll just have to get Michael a lot of alcohol and not tell him we're going to Circus. And then by the time we get there, he won't know where he's at. So we'll see if I can get that room review. We'll try anyway. But Excalibur, I see mixed reviews on it. Whether or not to stay there. I've never stayed there. I love gambling there. I always do really well. The roulette tables are awesome. I'm not sure about the rooms, but I mean, I would stay there. I kind of was thinking the same thing about Luxor. We stayed there this past time and it exceeded my expectations a little bit. I went in with really low expectations. Shame on me. And I think it actually was better than what I was expecting. So maybe Excalibur and Circus will be that way. But I don't think Mike is agreeing with me right now, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. All right. So here's another big news with Caesar's property. Interesting enough. So we did a construction update on Bally's moving over to Horseshoe. We did this, I want to say over Thanksgiving. It might have been in February. And I gave you all a construction update where they were outside. The Grand Bazaar shops are being redone. They had kind of put up some Horseshoe stuff so you could see that they were coming in. when I was doing my outside review, I was letting guys know that it was interesting to see that only one of the towers on the outside, one of the hotel towers, was being painted. And I was just like, that's really odd, but maybe they just haven't started the other one. Maybe they're going to do a full round, finish the original tower there for the new horseshoe, and then the second tower they would get to. Well, my suspicion was right. And it turns out that Caesars is going to take what was the Jubilee Tower, the second tower there at Horseshoe. They are actually going to be giving that right there. Thank you. That is now going to be part of Paris. So that's why they never updated the outside of it. But interesting enough, Paris is stating that this is going to be one of their higher end hotel rooms going forward. They're going to be renovating this, and they hope to have it open by the end of 2023. It's got 756 rooms. But the best part is, guys, the balconies, they're going to make them functional. This is awesome, right? So everybody loves going to the Cosmo because you can use the balconies there. And so Caesars has announced that the new Paris tower, which is going to be the Versailles Tower, is going to be one of their premium rooms. It's about 450 square feet when they're done, but they're going to open up the balconies and they're going to be fully functional. The balconies are about 52, what did I think they said, 52 square feet, something like that. So they're small, but I love this. I love the idea of bringing balconies back to Vegas. When we were at Choctaw this Thursday night, absolutely loved having the balcony. We went outside, we watched the sunset, we watched the sunrise. It's just a nice option. It's very inviting to stay in your room, relax, and enjoy it. So the fact that Caesars has announced that these balconies are going to be reopened and fully functional is going to be awesome. And talk about the view, right? You're going to have the Bellagio fountains, you're going to have view of the Eiffel Tower. I love it. I think this is a great idea. I do feel bad for Horseshoe though, because they lost about 750 rooms or so as being an option for them there at the Horseshoe. But it makes sense, and they're going to be bringing in a whole bunch of new restaurants. So it'll be exciting to see. They're going to build a bridgeway, a walkway for people to get to this tower. So there's going to be more construction, of course, but we're used to that, guys, right? I mean, there's always construction going on in Vegas, but I am excited to hear this. I'm excited to see it become functional balconies. I think that Cosmo, now that with the MGM, that is their biggest draw to that property. I wouldn't say the biggest, but that is one of the big draws to that property is these functional balconies, right? They have a lot to offer. It is a more upscale hotel. It's beautiful on the inside. So people do go there for that reason as well. But to get the terrace suites, to get the terrace views of the Bellagio fountain, you can't beat that. I mean, it's just gorgeous. So I love hearing that Caesars is following suit. They're going to be making these balconies fully functional. I love it. I love it. I love it. I think it's going to be a big draw going into Paris. And I cannot wait for the barbecue and the velvet taco at Durant. I know Slotty math teacher Michael was telling me about all the new restaurants and things that they're bringing into Durant. I'm very excited about that with Choctaw, most definitely, because they definitely need more food options in Choctaw Durant, which is where we were just this past Thursday, guys, when we were going live and everything. But kudos to Caesars for doing this. I love it. I think it's going to be great. I think you are going to see Paris become a higher tier hotel. I think you're going to see the rates go up a little bit, and I'm okay with that as long as it's warranted. I know before we stayed at Paris this last time, I was really nervous about staying there because you're going to know where I'm coming from. But if you go and you're gambling there and you have to go to the bathroom, you need to use the facilities, and you go into these bathrooms, they are awful. And we're not saying that they're dirty, but they're just worn, right? I mean, the paint, there's chips in the wood. They've got the wooden doors. The bathrooms need to be renovated. They need to be updated. They need some fresh paint. So I was very leery about staying at Paris when we were in Vegas this last time. But the room itself was super nice. Maybe they just don't keep up with the common areas there on the casino floor. Kim and Scott, Spokane, Meredith. What's Durant? So Durant is Durant, Oklahoma. That they actually have a casino there. It's called Choctaw. That's where we were this Thursday and Friday for our lives. And it's a wonderful place. And I will tell you, Oklahoma has a ton of casinos to offer. But the biggest competitors is WinStar, which if you look at the state of Texas, it is about 45 minutes to an hour north of Fort Worth. WinStar is. If you look and you're looking at that same map, Choctaw is about 45 minutes to an hour north of Dallas. So these two hotels are very competitive. People, it's very easy access for people coming from Texas, especially here in North Texas, of which hotel do we want to go to. And welcome in REN Slots. We I have come to love Choctaw in Durant, Oklahoma much more. It's just, I like the vibe there better. It always seems to be cleaner to me. The staff are more friendly. Obviously, they're film friendly. That's where we were. But the rooms are really nice too. WinStar, guys, the best way I can describe this to you, which is in Thackerville, Oklahoma, and it's pretty much the only thing in this city, is it is the world's largest casino. It is about a mile and a half to walk it from one end to the other. Every slot machine you can think of, they are going to have it. But they are so busy all the time. And this place is so huge, they don't have a way to keep it clean. They don't have enough staff. And you can sit down at a machine and the ashtrays are just overflowing with ashes and cigarettes. The buttons are always sticky. There's always the chairs are just creepy things on the chairs. I mean, it's close. It's very close for us to go to, and it's very large. I mean, they have a ton of slot machines to offer, but I'm going to go the extra for us. So an hour to WinStar or an hour and 45 minutes to Choctaw Durant. I'm going to go to Choctaw Durant every time. Not only is it cleaner, but if you want to go for family, this is the place to go. You guys, this is a resort. It is not just a casino. They actually have very family friendly things to do, right? They have they have a theater, they have a movie theater, they have an arcade, they have an outdoor oasis for children, which includes water slides. They have an indoor swimming pool all year round. They have a brand new aqua center or aqua pool area outside, and it's got two different areas. One is designated for 21 and up only, and one is family friendly. There is so much to do. You could literally take your children for a whole week to Choctaw, and there will be something for everybody to do every single day. So if you're looking for a family friendly vacation spot, that is the place to go over WinStar. The only thing WinStar has to offer is a pool for children, nothing else. So it is not geared towards children. Durant is incredible, but it's catch 22 for me. I'm only about 18 minutes from it. Yeah. And I mean, I'm gonna drive the extra couple of miles. It sucks for us though, because if we want to go live on Thursday, for us to be able to do that, getting off of work at 5 and then driving an hour to the casino, WinStar has to be our spot. But the last time we were there, even though I had permission to film, they asked us to leave. Barbara says, isn't WinStar the place where security stopped you during your live stream? Yes, Barbara, that's exactly what I was talking about. Um, Even though I had permission from the promotions department to film and I had my email and they read it, they still asked us to stop filming, which is interesting. Now, it was a Friday night. Normally we go up on Thursdays. Maybe that was why, not sure. But it was just very disappointing to me. It left a bad taste in my mouth. I should have let go of my ego a little bit, calmed down, and went and spoke to somebody the night it happened and try to clear it up and get permission to come back. Because for us to go and live on a Thursday night, we're going to have to drive an hour and 45 minutes to Choctaw, go live for a couple of hours, drive home. I mean, we're looking at a 6-hour event now versus going to WinStar, which would be about 3 hours. Little Dutchie, did they actually ask you to leave or just ask you to stop filming? Well, that was the interesting point. If you go back and watch the video, I asked him specifically because he was like, "You need to stop filming." And I said, "Do you want us to stop filming or are you asking us to leave?" And he goes, "I'm asking you to leave." And I said, "So you're asking me to leave the facility?" And then he comes back and goes, "No, actually, I don't care if you stay. You can stay, but you can't be filming with your tripod, and you need to hold your phone if you want to film." I mean, he was just all over the board. First, it was we couldn't be filming because we would be able to figure out the way that the programs, right, of the machines were. And then it was, oh no, if I let you do it, everybody has to do it. Well, buddy, not everybody has gone through marketing department and got approval. So no, you don't have to let everybody do it. That's the purpose of my email. Anyways, he was just like, you know what, just stop. You guys can just leave. And so we left, and it was awful. Gambling Mitzi, my nearest casino is 3 hours to be able to record. Yeah, that's the way it is here in Texas. We're just hard to find a good place to get away and film. I've been trying to convince Michael to move to Vegas, but he's not having it. Our jobs are not in Vegas. Our kids are not in Vegas. Family is all here. So he's not wanting to move to Vegas. So I guess we'll just stick to going sneaking into WinStar and maybe doing our lives there. But I really think his biggest drawback after it all said and done, a couple of days of calming down and looking at the video again, I really think it might have been the tripod. But I am not a big fan of filming without the tripod. Little Dutchie, I've heard they do that at the Cosmo too. No tripods. How dumb. I just in For me and for Michael, more so Michael, he wants to put out a superior product. He wants it to be good. So he likes to use the tripod. Kudos to everybody who holds their phone when they are filming their slot play at these casinos. I don't know how you do it. My hand gets tired sitting there holding it. The camera is shaking everywhere. So if we're going to do this, he wants to use that tripod. But the guy was so wishy-washy. At one point, it was we could record as long as we took it off the tripod. And then it kind of sounded like as long as we weren't live, then it didn't matter. We could just film if we want to. He was just all over the board. Being a Friday night, it was super busy. I have a regret. My regret was not going and asking to speak to the floor manager, asking to speak to somebody in security, because you guys have known, you have seen us 1,000 times, not 1,000, but a couple. We have played at WinStar. We played on Thursday nights. We've gone live there. It's never been an issue. And maybe it's because we went on Friday night. I'm not sure. But I don't know what we're going to do there, guys, because we really want to go live. I love going and playing for you guys on Thursday nights. So we'll just kind of have to figure it out. Maybe I send an email back to the lady that originally sent it to me and ask her to clarify a little bit more. We will see. We will see. But Little Dutchie, with your hashtag Mike Matters, what we're going to do now is I'm going to actually ask Mike to come in on the camera. And we are going to talk about Choctaw, give you a recap of what went on. I'm going to put my headphones on. I'm also going to take a drink. But you guys, let's have Mike come in and join us for tonight because, he matters too. He's a part of this channel and he needs to be on the camera.
No.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you guys?
Wow, look at that. I actually pulled it off. I'm taking Jay's spot tonight.
Are you? Well, I see you're wearing the slot lizard hat.
I am. Well,
yes.
Where is it?
On that side. Yeah.
I always get confused.
That's actually been your lucky charm. You've been wearing that quite often. Can you guys hear him okay? I know I can. Slotty math teacher says, hello, Mike. How are you?
What's happening, everybody? Let me turn my gain down a little bit. Oh, wait, that's
welcome
up.
in, Chicago.
Okay.
Welcome in. I didn't see you come in earlier.
Okay, everybody can hear me.
Yeah, I think you sound great. So give us a recap of Choctaw, what we did when we went up there. We went live Thursday night. We weren't sure if we were going to go Friday, but we had so much fun on Thursday night and your challenge that you did. How did we do?
We did that. I think we did pretty good. I'm turning down my, give me a second. So this doesn't hit my...
Get into the chocolate of my martini. It is so good, babe. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So, yeah, we did the challenge, the man versus slots challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And
How far did we get?
We
Do you
pretty
remember?
much failed miserably. We, gosh, what did we get to? 8 and 9.
I
The first
think
one
8 or 9.
Yeah, we did it twice on Friday morning, and then slotty math teacher, and then
I'm going to get Jay for that, by the way. I will get Jay for that.
Yeah, so Friday night, I guess we did it, and man, I think
we did
got
2
to
rounds,
6 or something, and then we just played.
Oh no, we did 1 round the first night.
Yeah,
that's
we
right,
just
right?
flat out played, and then we did really well, actually.
Yeah, so when we switched over to the regular slot play, right? I think we did 2 hours of just regular slot play, and the drums was on fire for us. Like, holy crap, Barbara! Like, I can see why you were hooked on the drum game.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's where I got my hand pay. I've also got, hand pays on other machines, but I can see the draw in this machine. It is a ton of fun. I think we got up to over $400. Get a spoon for that chocolate, little Dutchie. Thank you. I know I'm trying to get to it and I can't.
I put a lot in there. Yeah, so we did well, and also trained the yeah.
All aboard. No, it wasn't all aboard. Not a luxury liner.
Luxury line.
Yeah, the luxury line. That was fun too. We did
We did well on that. And then so we were up and down. I mean, I think we won like $300 on luxury line, and then we went over to the drums and won, and then we put it all back.
That's the story of my life, except for when I like hit really big. But I mean, I don't know about you guys, but once I start winning and I get on that house money, as you saw, we went from the $5.88 bet on the drums up to the $10 bet to see if it was going to hit, right? Because I'm on house money at that point. We know I go up there with $400. If I don't come home with it, I'm okay with that. So once I get on that house money, I tend to bet bigger. I know that kind of drives you crazy sometimes because, everybody wants to come home with that money, but I don't know if anybody else does that. But once I'm on house money, I tend to let loose a little bit and want to bet bigger. But it didn't really get us anywhere, right? Because we went to the $10 bet. I think we did $80 worth of bets like that, and it did not work out well for us. No. I mean, I think we cashed out at $200 on that machine. I'd have to go back and look, but I think we gave back $200.
Oh yeah. Well, I think easily. by the end of the night, well, and Douge wasn't helping. She was, bet higher.
I love Douge. She's awesome.
She was awesome.
So Scott says house money is the best money to gamble with. I agree 100%. Have fun and make the big bets. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's when you're going to do it. Well, for us, we typically stay around 5 is probably the highest we generally go. 250 bet has been really good to us.
On the Dragon Link. Absolutely.
Dragon Links. And we've done really, really well. But when we're playing on house money, like at the Longhorn that night, you were betting 15. You were up and it paid out. Same thing with the live that we did at Choctaw or at Windstar that night.
Yeah. Well, actually, when we were at the Longhorn, I'm going to be very honest with you. Sherry and I were talking, and I wasn't really paying attention to what I was betting. So I didn't really mean to hit the $15. I'm glad I did because we ended up getting it paid out. We got the major. We won $1,400. But like the night of the drums, when we got the $4,300 hand pay, right? We were up on house money. So then we did, I did up it to that $5.88 bet, which is when we won the $4,300. But I don't mind betting on the house money, betting big like that, and I enjoy it. But what about that? I think it was Saturday, right? So let's talk about the gentleman that was playing the 2 games side by side.
Was
it Friday. Saturday? Was it Friday? And yes. So this gentleman,
double octo slap.
Guys, I could not believe how fast. I mean, I know y'all heard it, and we tried to kind of catch it on camera just a little bit, not his face, but just his hands. This guy was playing side by side machines, max bet, and like every 3 seconds, he was doing a new spin, right? I mean, he was going through his money so fast. I never really saw him hit. Did you see him hit?
I didn't even see what I should have looked and seen what bet amount he was doing because I didn't look. But yeah,
Yeah,
it was crazy. I mean, he had both machines and he was hitting the buttons as fast as he possibly could.
it was crazy. It was absolutely nuts. And I
Super
just,
octo slap.
yeah,
J
super
Will loved it.
octoslapper. I just couldn't believe it, right? I could, because we talked about that this past weekend about people and they're in the hitting the octoslapper buttons and all of that stuff. So to actually see it while we were live, I thought it was funny, but I don't ever recall him hitting it big. At least I never
Well, we weren't
heard the
there that
machine
long.
and we weren't there that long,
Yeah.
Jamal says,
But
excuse me, your poll has a few grammatical errors in its title. I'm totally here to help. I have to
well,
go
that's
back and look at
possible
that.
because I wrote it. So yeah, that's very possible.
Let's see what you said. Do you have maid service clean your room daily when staying in a hotel multi days? There you go. What is the grammatical error? What am I missing? Holy moly. I'm usually really good at pointing those out.
Yeah, you usually look over my shoulder.
I do. But hey, what about guys? I wanted to do a huge shout out to all of the super chats that we got. Holy moly. That was incredible, guys. I was just so excited and it's so new to us. And I don't know how, when we get them to stop and acknowledge, but I just cannot tell you how much I appreciate the support, right? We love seeing people come in. We love having, and we're building this community. We've met online a ton of people. We met a few people in person, but just to have the support and have all of those super chats coming in Thursday and Friday was incredible. It's just nice to know that people enjoy what we're doing because I know we do, right? This idea of let's start a YouTube channel. I get it. It's been a lot of fun, right? Yes, Sean S. Mike is in the
I'm
house.
here.
But I just really, shout out to Fiona, right? Your super chats were amazing. And she was in the late wee hours, early morning hours,
Oh,
gambling
yeah.
again. Right? We had Gambling Granny and Barbara playing slots, DG Production, Kim, Sherry Milner, Douche, Sean S. You guys are amazing. Tina with
LoveStruck.
LoveStruck. Yeah. And then Ron and
Ron and Sharon.
Sharon. Lucky and Love. This is awesome, guys. The support, the amount of people that we have met is just absolutely amazing. Welcome in, Avery. She says, hi, mom and dad. She is watching us on Facebook. So that's good to know. Yeah. So we are broadcasting on Facebook. This is our second week. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So this is our second week to do the Facebook Live. And so it's nice to see that these are actually coming through there.
Let's see, who was that? Fiona. Where was she at? The Netherlands?
She's in New Zealand, and she was watching us, and it was like 2-3 a.m. in the morning.
Well, she had watched us the night before.
Yes.
And then we went to bed, got up, came back on, and she was waiting on us. So it was it was Saturday. So we were Friday. It was Friday morning. And it was 3 a.m. going into
Saturday.
Monday, into Saturday there. Yeah.
Yeah. She had watched us that she had been drinking wine because it was a night, and then it went into the morning, and so then she switched over to coffee. Right.
Yes.
Just very dedicated people watching this show, continuing to come back every week. I just cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. I love it. Yes, Fiona is awesome, guys. It's just great.
Well, and it was like every 10 minutes she was giving us another super chat.
Yes. And Douche, by the way, I don't know if Douche is in here tonight. I think she was.
I have not seen Douche.
You haven't seen her yet. She was amazing, right? Keeping up with the chat and talking with everybody. Just guys, I love it. I love it so much. It's just a lot of fun.
You guys were all amazing.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun. We weren't real successful, but
money-wise, we were not successful.
Well, yeah.
But that's okay. Like I said, when we go to the casino, I'm not looking to come back with anything. I'm okay if we lose what we came with, but man, is it a bonus if you come back with more than what you started?
Yeah. I was actually speaking of the challenge.
Yeah, the challenge did not go very well for us. Right.
But that's the beauty of that challenge, right?
Yeah.
It's
Explain to them why you like it.
It's $100, and we can go live for. I mean, we've gone live for close to 2.5 hours. If you're successfully hitting the jackpots and
Mhm.
moving along, you can. I mean, we've gone 8 hours before straight, and I think we spent $200 on that challenge, and then from there we also made close to $400 from hitting the bonuses.
Yeah.
And we do have a super chat.
Sean S. Look at you. $9.99. $9.99 from Sean S. We do it because the both of you are the greatest. We should support you no matter what. Well, I appreciate that, Sean. I really do. You know, we are trying. I am trying so hard to get our next Vegas trip down. Yes. I'm thinking in July. I'm trying to. Kim Zilla and I are trying to make it work so we are there at the same time because oddly enough, the last 5 times we have gone, our days have never overlapped. It's
she's either coming in or
we're leaving.
leaving.
Yeah, like within 24. Same thing with Gambling Granny. We've gone a couple of times and just barely missed her as well.
Right.
So I'm trying to work with Kim Zilla to make it so that we can all be there at the same time because I really want to meet Kim in person. But I'm looking at maybe July, mid-July time frame. But what you guys, if you want to drop us a comment, I would love to know what properties do you guys want us to go and review for you. We are definitely, as always, you know, Harrah's was a request, the Luxor was a request, the Delano was a request. So, you know, we added those into our original travel when we had already had plans. So guys, drop us a comment, leave us, you know, any kind of message on our YouTube, our Facebook page. Let us know if you have any specific hotels you want us to go and review. Typically, this is the time that we will actually drive to Vegas. So hopefully we will be driving to Vegas at this time. If not, it'll be in October. So even if there's something outside of the strip that you're looking for, if it's Fremont Street, if it's some of the Palace Station casinos, maybe it's Sam's Town. I don't know. But if there's different hotels that you would really like for us to do a review on,
Circus.
I heard that already. I'm just going to have to give you some alcohol before we go.
We could do the Circus. We're just not staying there. We'll just book that. We'll be at a different
that is
property.
not a fair review. We have to stay where we review so we can give the full review.
Oh,
welcome in 420 Unscripted 420.
That's not how I see it.
Hope you're doing well.
And I think we're gonna.
Have you been? Oh, Chicago's asking, have we been to MGM? So interesting enough, hopefully this week we will be putting out our MGM Grand room review. We actually stayed in the Tower Spa Suite. I absolutely loved it. Fair warning, it was great. You'll get some good tips and benefits as to why you should request this specific room in our video, but we hope to release that this week. It was great. I thoroughly enjoyed the entire view.
Love that place.
That's the second time I stayed at MGM. I had stayed, I'd taken the girls to see Hannah Montana in 2009. We stayed at MGM and it was okay. But this time around was much better and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So you'll have to watch the video, get some in and outs of why you should specifically request this room or this area of the casino.
Well, yeah, it was.
They'll give it away. They'll give it away.
I was just going to say it was really awesome. It's probably in my top 3 rooms that we've stayed in. Yeah.
What are your top 3? Just out of curiosity.
You know, I really dug the Bellagio. But it was a little, it's unattainable. I mean, it was a 2-bedroom suite.
We were in the penthouse, honey.
Yeah.
Of course you loved it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was really awesome. The people there were really awesome. Let's see. The Delano was amazing. This simply because of the view, and it had 2 totally separate rooms.
You got to check that video out if y'all haven't seen it. It was absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Very comfortable. That was our best night's sleep, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like New York. That's my favorite.
New York.
Far.
Yeah, that I would say that the MGM room we stayed in, Delano and New York are my top 3 so far.
Nice.
that we've stayed in that are obtainable. And Pop-Pop's in the building if you haven't said hi to him.
Welcome in, Pop. Hope you're doing well. All right, guys. Well, we have hit our hour mark. I do not want to keep you on a Sunday night. We all have things to do to get ready for our work week. I hope you have a wonderful week. Totally appreciate everybody popping in and visiting us. Be sure to leave us a comment if there are certain reviews and room reviews and properties that you want to see. Maybe it's restaurants, maybe something to that nature. Just let us know. Again, love the support. Please hit that thumbs up button on your way out. Appreciate everything you're doing. We will be back next Sunday with another live show. I don't think we'll be going live this week, but we will see you next Sunday. And be sure to hit your notification bell so you can see when our latest room review on the MGM Grand is, because it is phenomenal. You guys are going to love it. Absolutely love it.
Thank you, everybody, for who watched over on Facebook. We don't have a big footprint over there yet, but we've got a couple people that have been in there watching. I've been monitoring it.
That's awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, y'all have a wonderful week. We will see you next Sunday, and we'll catch you in everybody's different lives this week. You guys take care. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.